What? Hey, it's Corey with my Platinum journey for the Final Fantasy VIII Remaster for the PlayStation 4. So the way that you split this game up is going to be mainly within the 3 discs, because the 4th disc doesn't really count in the base game. So the way we're going to sort this out is in 3 different phases. So those phases are going to be phase 1, where we focus more on the GFs that will be drawn along the way of the base game, the short grind of the draw points. Then we've got some of the side missions that we'll be focused on phase 2. And then finally on phase 3, we'll be focusing on the end game, the more of the grindy trophies, and then finally getting the platinum. For those of you who don't know, I do stream on Twitch every Monday, Wednesday and Friday at 6:30 PM EST, and I'll put my link below. As a playthrough of the game, I had to make sure that we keep an eye on a few different trophies, just to make sure it's not going to take us any longer than it needed to be. These for the most part are going to be GFs, starting with Ifrit, which technically isn't missable, but it is a good start. A few of the magazines, and then some of the other equipment that we'll need for a summon later on. After the Ifrit encounter, we'll be spending some time in Bahamut. And it's a good time to start getting some of your cards ready, because we will be starting on our CC group, focusing from the bottom of the pile all the way up to the Queen and then the King, and then trying to get some of the rarer cards. We can't complete it as of right now. Some of the later NPCs are unavailable, but we'll definitely be back. Next up, Brothers. Then we have Carbuncle, and then finally Diablos. These 3 come in pretty quick succession, not in the right order. Typically you would go for Diablos first from the lamp, you'd head to Brothers, and then finally you would get Carbuncle towards the end of disc 1, but here we are. Next up on our field trip of time travel, back at Bahamut we'll be getting our Leviathan. Follows a lot of storyline which doesn't really cover too many trophies. We did forget to include a video clip of Cerberus, and then follows a wild plot, and then we're in space. Now our space adventure has concluded. We now have the best ship in any Final Fantasy game. Don't even try and at me. And now we can focus on our endgame trophies. So this is more towards the end of disc 3, where we'll be focused on more of the end game content and the rest of the cleanup for our trophies. So we're working towards the end of our trophy journey. We now have a small grind to kill some tonberries to get the daddy to appear. It's a pretty easy boss fight. And then we have to go kill Mr. Mustache on Cactus Islands. Again, pretty easy, just run into him, not a big deal. And then I took a little mini break to make sure that I would get my health trophy, just to help with some of these later fights. Even with the cheat on, some of the bosses will one-shot you, will give you a game over. And now we get to the fun part, and by fun I mean this was bloody awful. We have one very long tedious questline that we are going to complete during this trophy run. When I mean tedious, I mean we're going to hum to a bird, we're going to throw a rock at a monkey, we're going to get some codes from rocks from around the world, we're then going to throw another rock at a monkey, then we're going to walk up and ignore every direction that these stones are telling us to get one of the best items in the game that I don't even use. But hey, it's a trophy. So now we go back, we go get one of the last GFs that we can get within the game. It's going to be Bahamut. Bahamut's a fairly easy fight, especially with some of the cheats with the remaster. And then once we kill Bahamut, we can get access to Ultimate Weapon, which holds 2 trophies, one for Eden the Summon, and then one for killing Ultimate Weapon. Our new questline is pretty short. It's funny, it's short. So we're on a quest to find a UFO that is stealing buildings, it's stealing cows, it's also stealing a pyramid at one point. And then he begs us for 5 elixirs. He does give us his cards, which is pretty good, it's pretty rare, but we also get that last trophy for our final side quest. At this point we've reached the end of the game, and now with not much else grinding to do or running around, we're going to complete the seed exams, so that way we can get the seed A rank, which is going to get us one of our last trophies. I did this in Ultimicia's castle, and then when we're on Ultimicia's castle we have our last 2 bosses, One of them is very optional, is one of the hardest bosses in the game. Just like Final Fantasy VII, he can be a pain, he can one-shot you even with cheats, but with some jankiness. We know that we're not going to die to any death attack or any 16 hits of 4,000 damage pounding. Pretty easy, not too bad, pretty good for an endgame. For my Final Fantasy VIII Platinum review, this game took me around 30 hours. With the use of cheats, this game is an easy 3 out of 10 difficulty for the Platinum. And this may cause some controversy, but I give this game an 8 out of 10 on the fun scale. This game is one of my favourite games of all time, let alone my favourite Final Fantasy game. And that's it. Thank you so much for watching. Please consider subscribing. Hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Until then, happy hunting.